Something interesting happened recently. Fortnite OG is now in Season 5, which of course brought a new AliJax thread going over everything that's been wrong with Fortnite OG. However, something different happened this time. After only a few days after the thread drop, Epic saw and directly responded to it with the Fortnite status account. Mention AliJax by name. This thread contained pretty much every single tiny issue with weapon stats and a bunch of other things in Fortnite OG, and included an entire paste bin which had a hotfix script that would instantly fix over 50 different things. Insane. Shout out to AliJax. I still can't believe that this is a real tweet that exists. What? Now, the next update is scheduled to happen on August 26th, and I know you might be wondering, that's like now. If they already know about the issues and are going to fix them, then what the heck is the point of making this video? Oh, it's pretty simple, you guys asked for it. Now, there are some things I want to go over quickly before we jump into the actual meat of the video. To anyone that hasn't seen the last video, this video is going to seem very nitpicky, and that's the point. In fact, the point of the original thread was to point out everything wrong with the mode, even if it was very, very, very tiny, so that's what this video is going to do too. Now, as a disclaimer, we do love the mode. We love Fortnite OG. That's why we play it so much, and that's why we're so dedicated to finding everything that's been wrong with it. This isn't complaining just to complain, this is just pointing out tiny things in the hopes that Epic might see it and fix it, because trust me, it goes a long way. And also because Epic very much has gotten a bunch of tiny little details right, things that you wouldn't even think about, so trust me, asking for any of this is not out of the question, believe it or not, so it's worth a shot. Keep that in mind. This is something that a lot of people missed with the last video I made. This thread was made by the one and only AliJax. Also, Ryan did a lot too and wants credit. Also, this video has taken so long that there's going to be some newer stuff from the most recent update that I'm going to be mentioning, so thank you for Hollow for making this tiny little thread right here. Last time I broke things down into how important they are versus how unimportant they are, and seeing as how Epic is already aware of everything that is going to be mentioned, we're just going to go in the order of the thread. A few other things to note. In the thread, it was mentioned the heat and cool, which is Epic's system for accuracy. For simplification, we're going to classify all of that just under spread. And also, as stated in the thread, season-specific map issues will not be listed here as they were likely to be fixed later. Now, how about we get into this thing? Are you ready to be hyper-aware of every tiny thing wrong with Fortnite OG? Don't just sit there and be silent, come on. Also, it's been a while, code chug-a-chug, and the item shop no spaces, hashtag epic partner, we just got that out the way. Alright, let's do it! A few other things to note, just in case you aren't aware, some things will be classified as low tier and some things will be classified as high tier. Low tier is common, uncommon, and rare. High tier is epic and legendary. Keep that in mind. If you're interested enough to click on this video, I'm sure you knew that, but we're gonna get this out there just for those that didn't know. Anyways, let's go. First off, the storm, specifically the storm mechanics. Now we are in Season 5, and one big thing that Season 5 added was moving zones for Zones 7 through 9. They forgot those, so yeah, Zones 7 through 9 should be moving zones that move back into the storm. Also, the sizes for some of the zones are incorrect, but I think that's intentional this time, so we'll let it slide. I actually don't mind. Double pump. This should be gone. Double pump is the ability to switch between shotguns with no delay. I'm sure we all know this by now, but it should be leaving with Season 5. They, again, forgot. Some people have told me, oh, they're probably going to keep it intentionally this time. No, they're not. They forgot about it. They said it in the blog post back in Season 1. Something that also goes against the blog post is zip lines and ascenders. These should be disabled in build mode, but for some reason they aren't. I don't entirely hate ziplines, but ascenders are in really weird spots, and you can't build around them. Specifically that one spot at Salty. You know the one. Yep. Yeah, that one. Another thing is rifts. Season 5 added rifts, but we've had them since Season 1 in Fortnite OG. They were originally meant to be 0 build only, but then they moved them over to build mode for some reason. It's Season 5 now, so they are supposed to be in the game, but they shouldn't be infinite. If you go in a rift, someone else can use that same rift with no cooldown whatsoever. This kind of leads to a lot of people chasing each other, especially with how the rift distribution is. So yeah, rifts should not be infinite. Now let's get into some weapons. Believe it or not, almost every single weapon has at least one tiny little issue with them. So upon further inspection, we were wrong. Every single weapon and item has one tiny little issue with them. There is not a single correct item in this mode. Oh, Epic Games. What are they? Well, that's what we're here to talk about. The assault rifle. It should have less recoil and faster recoil recovery. The high tier versions also have the wrong reload and pullout sounds. It's missing the ADS and low ammo sounds, and it has the wrong model, even though it has the right texture. I don't know. I don't know how. It also uses the wrong firing animation. It's the one from modern Fortnite instead of the one from pre-Chapter 5. Like I said, we're going over everything. We are. First assault rifle. This weapon is supposed to have a lot less spread in general than it does. Normal crouch, sprinting, and jumping to be very specific. It should also have way less recoil. The high tier versions have the wrong icon and the wrong model. They tried fixing this. They gave it the right icon, but it's the version in creative mode that isn't used in Fortnite OG. So, I mean, I guess they tried. Also, the reload sounds on the lower tier version pitch incorrectly. Scoped assault rifle. This weapon doesn't have too much wrong with it, but it has the wrong scope mesh and it should have less recoil on controller than it currently does now. Thermal scoped assault rifle. This thing should be automatic, but it isn't. It also has way less aim assist slowdown than it should. And also apparently uses the wrong model. Bet you didn't know they were different. After the recent update, they did add back the old model for the thermal, but they kind of broke the animations for it. They are aware about this though, so this will be fixed soon. The suppressed assault rifle. I don't have footage of this because it's not in game yet. It needs more spread, has the wrong firing animation, has the wrong firing sound effects, and it shouldn't have bullet tracers because it's a suppressed weapon. Light machine gun. The LMG. This thing shouldn't have per bullet recoil. It also needs more jumping and sprinting spread. The minigun. This weapon should have more vertical recoil and less horizontal recoil. It shouldn't have overheating, but it's probably intentional because they did mention it in the blog post when it came out. It shouldn't have per bullet spread, has the wrong tracer beam particle, like I said, we're going through everything, and it should drop with increased light ammo, but it doesn't right now. Also, it's currently disabled, so yeah, that's why you're not seeing much footage of it, at least from this season. Pump shotgun. This weapon uses the Season 8 firing sound instead of Seasons 1 through 7. I used to think this was intentional, but I think they actually just kind of forgot about it, because they do have the correct SCAR sound, which was also changed in Season 8. It is very, 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 very slightly different. And this is again what I mean by they can get tiny details. Also, the firing sound is in mono audio, and it doesn't exactly stick to your character like it should. The pullout sound changes pitch when it shouldn't, the reload time is very slightly wrong, accuracy and recoil are mistakenly scaled one rarity up, and the max damage cap, I believe, is still 199, which could cause problems next season if they don't change that, because we're supposed to get one pump in Season 6, so remember that. Heavy shotgun. The sight is green instead of red. This weapon also should be semi-auto, but it's fully automatic right now for some reason, and it should pierce players. Drum gun. This should have less spread down sights. Surprisingly, that's actually the only problem with the drum gun. Tactical shotgun. The structure damage right now is 52, 55, 75 for common, uncommon, and rare, instead of 50, 53, and 55. Double barrel shotgun. This should have less jumping spread, and it also should have structure damage fall off. Submachine gun. This is currently using the Chapter 2 model and icon instead of the Chapter 1 versions, and it also has the wrong firing sounds. They did actually fix the SMG's firing sounds, kind of. It's pitched slightly too high though. There was also a bug here with this and the compact SMG where if you switched weapons on an empty magazine to a different weapon, then it would... Oh boy. Oh, that is a bug. Oh no.
What?
Oh. This has been fixed. Compact SMG uses the Chapter 2 model on the floor and then uses the Chapter 2 textures on the Chapter 1 model when held. The model stuff gets really weird in this mode. Suppressed submachine gun. It shouldn't have bullet tracers. That's it. Tactical submachine gun. This thing is vaulted right now, but it should have more spread. It incorrectly uses Save the World bullet tracers instead of Battle Royale, and it has the wrong equip animation. Suppressed pistol. This should have more spread, no bullet tracers, and should be semi-automatic, although I wouldn't be surprised if it being fully automatic is just a quality of life thing, because they do that with pistols now. It has the wrong pullout sound, or at least it did. That's mentioned on the thread, but I think this might have been fixed by now. The wrong equip animation, and the wrong firing sounds. The pistol. The name currently is semi-auto pistol, even though it's automatic, but even then, it shouldn't be named semi-auto pistol. It should be called pistol. It also has the wrong equip animation, wrong textures on the right model, and the wrong reload sounds. Revolver. It should have less ADS recoil, and it apparently has the wrong firing animation. Dual pistols. The firing sound pitch has too much variance. Rocket launcher. The high-tier rocket launchers use the Chapter 2 high-tier rocket when firing. I bet you have never noticed that outside of reading this thread. Also, the spread is wrong, but it's a rocket launcher. Bolt action sniper rifle. This thing's got the wrong scope mesh, the wrong reload animation on all rarities, the wrong reload sounds, and the legendary version should get vaulted in Season 5. Also, a little bit of nerd stuff. Apparently the epic and legendary versions have more issues that's caused by an incorrect asset reference, so heavy sniper. Now, I can't exactly get footage of this because, again, it's not in Fortnite OG yet. The blog post did say it was supposed to be, but maybe it's coming later, which I wouldn't mind. But it has the wrong scope mesh, the projectile speed is 50% higher than intended, which means the bullet travels faster than it should. It deals 5 times the vehicle damage, which is 785, and knocks back vehicles, even though they all get instantly destroyed. Hunting rifle. The firing sound can be pitched wrong, and the icon is from Season 8. Semi-auto sniper rifle. Just like all the other snipers, this thing has the wrong scope mesh, and the scope distance is wrong. Also, the rarities should be changed to this weapon dropping an uncommon in rare instead of epic and legendary. It took forever to find this thing for footage. Guided missile. It does do the wrong damage. It's 105 and 110 instead of 74 and 77. Although, as it is mentioned in the thread, epic, we don't mind if you consider the nerf as one of those rough edges you guys want to clean up. And it has the wrong structure damage, being 315 and 330 instead of 420 and 440. The hand cannon. The weapon that made us realize that there is not a single correct thing in this mode. According to AliJax, it ejects the fallback magazine when reloading. Well, that's everything for weapons, so now let's get into items. Remote explosives. These things are hilarious. They do 100 damage instead of 70, despite having the correct busted structure damage. And they have the little Chapter 4 sticky adhesive thing underneath them when they're on the ground. Klinger. Ever wonder why Klingers might feel a little bit weak? Well, it's because they should do 200 structure damage, but they don't right now. Also, the stack size should be 10 instead of 6. Grenade. The stack size should be 10 instead of 6 as well, and it's missing the mesh glow when dropped, meaning that the grenade itself doesn't glow like the rest of the glowing effects around it when it's on the floor. Portafort. The stack size should be 5 instead of 2. Small shield potion. The stack size should be 10 instead of 6. Chug Jug. It uses the Chapter 4 Season 4 textures. It also has the wrong throwing animation still. Bush. This thing has the wrong dropped mesh. To put this in more simple terms, when it's on the floor, it's a big bush instead of a Chapter 1 bush. It's weird because this is correct in creative mode, and I believe was also correct in Season 1. Also, the bush is very inconsistent when it comes to blocking shots. Apparently Season OG's version from Chapter 4 does fix this, so hopefully they use that instead. All-terrain cart. This should have 400 health instead of 650. Shockwave grenade. These have the wrong sound effects, and is missing the rarity grid when dropped on the floor. After this update, they did try fixing the shockwave sound because they re-imported them, but it didn't work. Grappler. This isn't in-game yet, so I can't exactly record footage of it, but it's missing the rarity grid, and it cancels fall damage when it shouldn't. Rift to go. This is also missing the rarity grid. It has the incorrect icon, which I actually don't know what the correct icon is supposed to look like, so I guess I will put that in a video when I find it. And the rift size is too small, which makes it so that some players don't get pulled into the rift when using them. I believe this was also a problem in Season OG. Porta Fortress. Not in game yet, but it's missing the rarity grid and has the incorrect icon. Boogie Bomb. These should be rare instead of uncommon, and they should start dropping in stacks of 2 this season. Also, the drop model scale is wrong when it's on the floor, and the fuse trail is missing glitter and sparkles when you throw it. Impulse Grenade. This shouldn't be vaulted until Season 6, but it is currently vaulted now. Also, the drop model scale is wrong. Slurp Juice. The drop model scale is wrong, and also it heals slightly too fast. Not something I've seen people mention. Damage Traps. These should be colored blue if they're friendly, but they don't yet. Now, with that being said, that's all of the weapon and item stuff. There's a few other things that are inaccurate that we've been hoping that Epic is going to fix now that they know about it. Mostly some graphic stuff. That stupid background mountain that I have beef with. It's rotated too far to the right. The rotation should be set to 0. The storm clouds are still 28,000 units too high in the air. And also keep in mind the storm clouds should change in Season 6 to the more updated ones. Interact speed on a lot of things should be 0.5 seconds. A Victory Royale should use the modern banner, and it should use the Season 5 through Chapter 4 Season 1 sound effect. As a little bonus, here's some Skybox stuff. Alleyjacks went through and tweaked with a couple of settings for the skybox to make it look like it should in Chapter 1, which is a lot more colorful, and also turned down the fog a lot, which, if you haven't noticed how bad this map looks with the insane layer of fog that is just covering the map, you need to see these photos. You ready? You ready for this magic? Wait for it. Boom! It's so much better. Hopefully they consider that when looking through the thread too, because I'm the fog is so bad, I'm actually serious. There are some props that are broken and don't animate. The legendary color is leaning towards orange when it's on the ground, which technically counts as an inaccuracy for OG now, even though that was changed everywhere. Though thinking about it, I guess it makes more sense because Mythic should be the gold one and Legendary should be orange. Also a big one that honestly this should have been mentioned at the start of the video. After the update, they did fix some skill-based matchmaking issues in Expert, being that they existed. They also added a squads expert mode to the files. And then they disabled Expert. Have fun with that. With that being said though, that should be almost every single tiny thing that's inaccurate in Fortnite OG. Anyways, congrats! Now that you've made it through this thing, you are now hyper aware of every single tiny issue that is in Fortnite OG. I hope you have fun being just like the rest of us.